I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. My rendition of I Wish by Skilo is the quote-unquote song, if you will, that started this video, or my rendition of it. And if you're a kid of the 90s, there's no doubt that you know the song. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat and a 6'4" Impala. Actually, this guy was really smart. I think he retained all the rights to the song and it's made him a millionaire. But guys have always known, especially guys that are non-select, maybe shorter than normal, maybe a little geeky or whatever, if you weren't what women wanted, it was your responsibility to turn into what they wanted. Or better yet, you had to learn game.
You know what your problem is. You have no game.
You could have seen Passport Bros coming from a mile away. For decades, guys were told, if you're not getting the attention that you like from women, you need to get money, muscles, game. And if you don't have that in order, stop complaining until you do. And while guys were getting themselves together, they're watching ladies swoon over men who didn't have the highest character or guys who wouldn't commit, and then going to gurus who were doing the same thing, all the while telling the women that the men that you're dealing with aren't good enough, or even if the guys that are trying to approach you, if they're on their journey to money, muscles, game, you should hold out and get the best deal, all the while telling women they are 100% perfect as they are. And this led naturally to some Passport Bros saying, I gotta go somewhere else where women aren't thinking like this.
Time to have hips. It's almost like a movement, like something is changing.
Society is infatuated with anything that's not the norm.
The record breaker whose hefty hips measure 8 feet around.
I'm extreme. I have an extreme physique. They need to make things bigger.
But these women are working their ample assets to bear, and the hip-heavy singleton looking for love.
I believe there's someone out there who's gonna love me for me.
As men, we learn to accept rejection. We rationalize it and we accept it for the reasons, even if they don't seem to make a lot of sense to us, and we move on, like you'll see in TikToks like this one.
The girls pop their balloons to reject the guy.
Why did you pop your balloon for Ims?
It's not my type.
What is your type?
I'm sorry.
That's
a bit taller.
You don't like, wait, but you're short, so.
Okay, so you're gonna hear the rationalization, right? I mean, it's something that guys get used to. You're too short, you're not the look that I like, you just accept it. But listen to her rationale.
What's that mean?
I don't feel protected with short guys.
She's saying you can't protect her.
What does that mean? What does height have to do with protection?
So if it's just us two and then 5 guys, 6'5" pull up.
So you're telling me if a 6'1" guy that is currently your boyfriend gets pulled up with 7 guys, you think he's going to take 7 guys?
You never know.
Well, he won't. That's being unrealistic.
I know martial arts.
Unrealistic. A flipping 5'5" guy can know martial arts. What does that mean?
No martial arts.
The gentleman makes a good argument. I would say he's a good 4 to 5 inches taller than her. I guess about 10 to 12 centimeters taller than her. So the height is a vanity issue. That is a personal preference, which guys have learned to accept. You know, he makes some fun out of it in his reply, but guys understand that you get rejected because you're not tall enough, you're not what she wants. You shrug your shoulders, you accept it, and you move on. And for a lot of guys, that means becoming Passport Bros, and for other guys, it means just not being interested in the market altogether. But guys accept it. Now, what happens when the shoe is on the other foot? So the caption reads, being an unchosen good girl is a gateway to becoming a pygmy.
This here is what happened to me. That's how I became a pygmy. I was the girl who got picked last. I was teased and bullied, called a nerd. Colorism may or may not have been at play, but...
Now, it's normal for guys to deal with the fact that you're not getting picked. And being a nerd, being geeky, that's just part of the territory. Well, again, what guys don't have the luxury of doing is pointing to colorism or pointing to things being unfair. People just say, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to get what you want to get, because That's just the way it is. And now that we're in an age where we're equal, we'll get back to that in a second.
I was looked over for girls who were the bad girls, so to speak. I was told all my life to stay in school, keep my head in the books, keep my legs closed, go to church, learn how to cook and clean, and then, I'll be a good wife to somebody. While I was doing that, other girls were out in the streets acting wild and having the time of their lives, and I hated them with a passion. I felt a smug satisfaction when one of those girls ended up pregnant. It was like, you got what you deserve.
Okay.
It didn't matter because those girls were still having fun, and I was...
She's pointing to the fact that the women who were doing all of the street running and doing all of the whatever, they had the fun and she didn't get to have it, so she should have done what they did. I think that's what her argument is.
Still at home waiting to be picked. It took me a long time to look at my life and learn and reevaluate things. I hope these videos find a young woman and save her from many years of misery.
Men understand this simple idea. We are responsible for our outcomes in life. And if we're going to deal with the fact that we're on an equal playing field, we're all equal, women have to accept this responsibility as well. If you are 14 years old and you're not getting attention from guys while doing what your parents told you to do, maybe you try it for a couple of years and then you get to 17 and you're not getting attention, you say, well, I got to do some course correction. And if that course correction means I need to drop some weight, if it means I might need to consider plastic surgery, if it means I need to become more fit, feminine, and friendly, if it means I need to call Kevin Samuels, you got to do something. What you can't do is do the same thing that your parents told you to do for a 20, 30-year period and just walk around angry at other people that are getting different results than you. With that, it's quiz time. I looked at some comments from her original post here on TikTok and a repost and the discussion of her on Facebook, and I want you to guess, were most of the comments from women telling her to be more fit, feminine, and friendly, A? Or was it B, men are bad? Which one do you think it is? First comment, the fact that the men having fun with the girls in the streets never got blamed. That's a lot of likes. My question is, why would you chasing the guys in the streets and not the nerdy guys? Oh, you don't want those guys. Oh, okay. Next comment. So agree. Church held me back as a young woman. Live your life to the fullest, travel and be fearless. Held you back from what? Next comment. I know so much more now at 40. I advocate for chasing your pleasure. No one's opinion matters more than yours in life. Marriage ain't the goal. Chase pleasure, huh? You know, when I listened to a lot of the first material that I heard in this area of the internet, the manosphere, I think most of the people told me that instead of money, muscles, and game, they said go chase pleasure. I think I remember that. And that is, of course, being facetious. Many women feel like her because it don't matter how much of a good girl you are or were, if you don't have the looks these men's like, you will be picked last. All of this notion of modern women, this and that, is fake and phony. Men care about looks primarily. You can't believe anything men say. You have to watch what they do because the two will not line up. Okay, fine. Guys care about looks. So do women. Sounds like excuses. Next. This all facts. When I was in high school, I was the quiet, lame girl that most dudes looked past. I had no curves and all the boys wanted the popular thick girls that were already having. This behavior ran straight into the early 20s until the same fine, popular, thick chicks ended up pregnant back to back, and those same guys shamed them and began looking for the good girls. Okay, I don't know if it was the same guys, and if they did, if they're the ones who are impregnating them, that's shame on those guys. But there are the guys that didn't impregnate you that were still out there, and you didn't worry about them, now did you? And the last one. Most of these guys don't want who wants them. It's just that simple. So you can see the disconnect. For guys, when guys don't get what they want, men tell other men, you need to level up. You got to do better. If you're not getting the results that you want, you need to work out. You need to make more money. You need to learn how to talk to women and be more sociable. But in the age of equality, when women don't get what they want, that is also on not just the men that they didn't choose or the men that they wanted but didn't choose them. It's on just men in general. And as the great poet Skilo said, I wish I was like 6'9" so I can get with Yoshi because she don't know me, but Yoshi's really fine. You know, I see her all the time everywhere I go. Even in my dreams, I can scheme of ways to make her mine. Because I know she's living fat, her boyfriend's tall and plays ball, so how am I going to compete with that? Because when it comes to playing ball, I'm always the last picked or sometimes never picked at all. What young women are going to have to understand is now their future is in their hands. And because we're equal, they're going to have to accept the responsibility of the fact that they're going to have to do the course correction to mate pair. And if they don't mate pair, that is not on the guys they didn't choose. And for the guys that are passport bros, you can blame us if you want to, but it won't solve any of your problems. You need to look within and do the same question asking that we did when we went through Money Muscles Game, Passport Bros, and do the same for yourself. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.
I wish I was a little bit taller.